Hi everyone, Dean Matthew here, and I am speaking to you from my dining room for this vlog this week. And I also have to be honest and say I'm speaking to you from my quarantine. I'm on day 7 of a 10-day quarantine. And that quarantine made me pause to think and reflect. And also made me encounter some of my own darkness. And I just want to name that and say, along with a friend of mine, time for honest talk. So yeah, it's difficult. We were beginning to regather. We are beginning to regather, and we're talking about that a lot. And I am a people person. I love being around people. I love being with you all, and also with friends when I can. And it felt like things were beginning to relax somewhat, and it was easier to be able to connect with people. But my encounter with COVID is a reminder that the spread of this disease is still quite apparent in our county in particular. So I had to stop and pause in quarantine and realize that I was going to spend some more time alone, which felt like a little bit of a blow at the end of this long year. Reminded me that I am a people person. I love being around people. And the idea of isolation and loneliness is one of my big fears. Fortunately, I've got some wise friends and counsellors who are able to support me. I talked to my spiritual director. I prayed about it. I encountered some of those difficult feelings of not being able to go out even and get Starbucks, or not being able to go out and even work with people at a distance. This week was also a reminder that the spread of COVID has not been completely arrested. And as we spend time thinking about new gathering, regathering, being with each other, I do want to say that I'm mindful that Sacramento County is still in the red tier, and the other counties around us have moved into the orange tier or even the yellow tier, as their spread of COVID has gotten down to quite low levels. And it leaves me wondering why our county hasn't quite gotten there yet. I am really hoping that the plans that we've put together for regathering can move forward. The governor is encouraging us to think that the economy is opening up on June 15th, but much of the rest of the state is further ahead than our county is in addressing COVID and making their areas safe. So we still have some work to do. And this week of praying and contemplating and facing demons, having a conversation with them and wrestling with them even, has made me think that I would like to ask you all if we can redouble our efforts to try and make sure that we can make our county safer, not just for ourselves, but for everybody else. One way to do that would be to make sure that you're vaccinated. I understand from some of the statistics that were just shared with me at a meeting that lots of people have gotten their first vaccine, but second vaccines have been dropping off. I really want to encourage people that have had one vaccine to go and get their second. Also want to encourage families to contemplate having 12-year-olds and up vaccinated. Remember, if you go to a vaccination site, a parent or guardian needs to be there to give permission. And also you need to book for the second vaccine shot. The only vaccine available to 12-year-olds and up is Pfizer, and it is deemed to be safe by the CDC. And so please consider going and getting teenagers vaccinated as well. If you haven't gotten vaccinated yet, think about doing that yourself so that we can get COVID under control in our county. Like I say, I'm really hoping that we regather exactly as we've planned, and I'm hoping that on June 15th we can relax many of the rules and regulations that we have in place around COVID-19, but we want to make sure that we do so safely. So please don't think we're out of the woods just yet. Please redouble efforts, and in this e-news we're going to try and point you in the direction of places where you might be able to get vaccines if you haven't done yet. Continue to pray for me as I do for you. God bless. Amen.